Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It is FEM Talk Tuesday, and we are still resetting because it is the top of the year. So still Happy New Year in this January of 2023. So tonight's reset is about business and business strategy. So I'm going to bring in the beautiful ladies of FEM Talk, and we are going to get into the show. Let's go. We've got Shima. She Listen, everybody, this is the woman of many faces. She makes so many faces. It's so funny. It's so funny. You have to catch her backstage, but sometimes I get her like right. So here we go. We have Melissa Mimi, girl bossed up. And we have Brandy the Disconnector.
What's up, y'all?
Hello.
Wait, before we go any further, how about them Cowboys? They got so much further in the playoffs, but I'm glad they got past round one. That's all I'm saying.
That's right. Nobody thought they were going to beat Tom Brady, but they did.
They did. Got to give them that.
Do we have anything against the GOAT? I know I'm not an avid football fan, right? By the way, however, do you not like Tom Brady?
Yeah. It's not that you don't like him; it's that he always possible. And I mean, literally, they are 8-9. They do not have a winning record. The Cowboys have a tremendous record this year, even though they haven't been consistent. But for injury purposes. Nobody had to win in this game. Everybody was going for the Buccaneers. I'm like, really?
Why? Right.
It was like, okay, yeah, it is Tom Brady. Yeah, this is his record, but he doesn't have the record this year to beat the Cowboys. So when they came in and they like almost like, bombed them out, I was just like, yeah, okay, good. So I'm okay.
You're loving it, huh?
I'm loving it. Yes.
Well, everybody out there, you know how we start this show off. So, hot topic. So, Brandon, tell us what the
Yes.
hot topic is for this evening.
So we're talking about the Miss Universe pageant, and it is actually owned and ran by a transgender woman by the name of. Let me see if I can pronounce her name. Oh, Anne.
Name is Anne.
That's it.
So,
Say it again.
Her name is Anne Jacra Tip.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So shut up, Shima. So the now owner of the Miss Universe pageant is gearing towards it being more celebrate the power of feminism, which is a new twist on things, because a lot of these pageants, in my eyes, the women that participate in the pageants are beautiful. I have a cousin that actually participates in different beauty pageants and things, but at the same time, I believe it sometimes gives other people the wrong perception of what beauty is. And so with somebody like this in charge of the pageant, I believe there might be a more celebration of natural feminists, females, as well as the beauty pageant side of things as well, to bring more of a level playing field, so to speak, as far as realistic looks that a woman should be after, because not everybody is Miss Universe beautiful. And that's okay. There are many forms of beauty as far as I'm concerned.
I was going to say that, Brandy. Thank you for mentioning that, because I was going to say, beauty truly is in the eye of the beholder. So,
Exactly.
This is just what society places as what's beautiful, right? And has for many years when it comes to Miss Universe or Miss America, right? But, we don't have to conform to that and
Right.
what society thinks is beautiful. But I agree with you. I think there will be some changes here, and it'll be interesting to see what those changes are as the years go by. They did not say that in the article, but we will see.
Yeah, I wonder why they brought it up. Perhaps there's a intention to possibly have a Miss Universe, a trans Miss Universe, which would be, well, new, something different. And I do wonder, though, if they would try and combine the two, or if they would have the trans women's Miss Universe and the cis women's Miss Universe.
I don't see the combination. I don't see different ones. I see
transgender.
one. I see whoever wins. I think if you enter in and you enter in and you win and you happen to be a trans, then so be it. Because I think to your point, Brandy, knowing a person who has been in a lot of these pageants, it's a lot of old doctrines that they go by, and a lot of it does not allow for a progressive woman to be a participant in. And I'm not even talking about getting into all other trans and other other issues that need to be addressed. I'm just talking about just they want this wholesome woman that looks a certain way, that has a certain type of job, that can say the certain type of thing, and they're not opening it up to your point, Brandy and Shima, this overall well-rounded woman, and especially now that people are distinguishing their pronouns. I think you have to be open to just different things, and whoever rises to the top for the win wins. What I'm saying? So,
and who's to say? I mean, the premise, honestly, the pageant is a show. It's the show. What matters most is what you do after. Isn't that all community based? You're supposed to be giving back to make the world better.
Supposed to be, but a lot of
who says right? Who says that a gendered woman or man can't do that?
Correct.
So it's the process that they would be fighting against, the pageant part of it. But I think, like other things, they always complain about the level playing field. Oh, this woman used to be a man, and they play tennis on the women's team. So does he have more strength? Probably. Does he have more endurance? Probably. Does that change the playing field for the pageantry? I mean,
no. In pageantry, like there might be a talent section, but like everybody's talent can be compared reasonably.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds like it would be an opening. I mean, I'm pretty sure that, like you said, Mimi, there's going to be a lot of people who don't want to see it. There's a lot of pushback. They have a lot of old doctrines and old thought processes. But
well, here's my thing on it, because yeah, and I don't have a problem with it. What I have a problem with is people pushing the education on trans individuals and homosexuality and the like on kids before they're ready to fully process it, and before you have a chance to teach your children what's what and how to go about things. That's the only problem that I have. You already know I love my LGBTQ plus community members, and I have a lot of good friends that are a member of that community, and I don't see them any different. Right. They're just wonderful individuals that I love calling friends and extended family in some cases. So I just believe it's in the best interest for it to be done responsibly, because you have some instances in which the ideal woman is extremely exaggerated by some individuals, and that's where I see a possible problem. But I don't believe that'll be an issue with this person that has taken over the running of the Miss Universe pageant.
This was going to be my point too, because you just said that at the end, because it begs the question of, well, then what else will we now allow in the pageant? Because why can't a full-figured woman be a part of the pageant?
Right.
You know? So it begs the question of, you know, if you're going to allow, which is nothing wrong with the transgender women, right, being able to come into the pageant and participate, but what about a full-figured woman? Because why can't they participate at the same level as the other women that are in the pageant? So I think if we're going to open it up, we need to really open it up, right?
Really reconsider what is beauty and what represents Miss Universe or Miss America or any of the like.
Right. And notably so, if it's about what Shima was saying, right? If it's about, you know, what they do after the pageant, level of intelligence, you know, community service, if it's about that, then it should be opened to anyone who has that criteria and that background. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Just wanted to mention that. So everybody, that is our hot topic for today. You can let us know what you feel about this. Put comments in here on the show page. We would love to, you know, just communicate with you and address anything that you have to say here about this hot topic. But we are resetting on business strategies today, everybody.
Yes.
And we have an amazing guest backstage. So before we go to commercial, I'm going to introduce her. Then we're going to do a commercial and we're going to bring her in and get into this topic about how to reset your business in 2023. So everybody, this young woman is near and dear to our hearts. She is a part of our Women Empowered tribe. We love her. She's a sister from another mister. For all of us here, her name is Cassandra Kaz, affectionately known as Kaz here. And she was born and raised in Philadelphia, but her heritage heart, some summers and roots are anchored in a little town in Georgia called Liberty County, everybody. Her name means helper of mankind. Interesting, Cass, because I did not know that until I read her bio. It's as if her parents knew this name would set the tone for the journey of her life. And she truly is a helper at heart. Her friends and clients have tagged her as the Wizard of Possibilities, the Push Coach, and the Business Doula. And we like to put them together and call her the Push Doula.
That's right.
Yes, but she is a multi-entrepreneur owning two businesses, one named Independent Insurance and the other Independent Business Solutions, a technology training and business development company, and co-owning with her husband a third, I Believe Screen Printing. So if you need some printing happening, you need to go over there and get it. They do t-shirts, they do hats, they do all that stuff. Each business is built on a foundation that says if we help others build, achieve, and protect their business and personal vision, ours will grow in the process. Now, there is much more here to this beautiful woman, but we are going to bring her in because we want to talk to her about how you reset. So we're going to play a commercial and then we're going to come back with Cass, everybody. And we are back. So we're not going to delay this any further. We are going to bring the beautiful Mrs. Cassandra Davis into the room.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, Kat.
Hey.
Yes. So listen, we want to get into this conversation because it is the top of the year. And people need to know how to reset when it comes to business. And, this is usually the time when people are looking to reset, not just their health, but a little bit of everything in their life. So, Cass, if you had to tell somebody where to get started, right, in the reset, and I'm going to give you three different scenarios, right? You have the person who has a dream, right, and hasn't started anything yet. You have the person who is just starting out. And then you have the person who has a seasoned business, but now they're at the point where they need to level up.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's good, right? There's three different places there. Wait, first of all, thank you guys so much. I love all of you so much. Thank you for having me on. I am so excited to be here. I finally made it to the FEM Talk platform.
Yes.
So I'm excited. I'm so excited to be with you guys. I miss you. I wish I could give you guys a hug, but
I know.
Thank you so much for having me and giving me the opportunity just to be on the platform and just share. It helps empower someone to go to the next level. So come on, y'all. Let's get into it.
Yes.
So what I would say, if we were talking about those three different categories, am I still here?
I
don't see y'all. I like to see y'all faces. I'm like, what happened?
We're highlighting you for now. Go ahead.
Okay. So what I would say is in those three categories that you just gave, Trace, analyze where you are. You got to be really clear where you're standing, because if you're not clear about where you are, what your position is, and you just know you want to move, know your foundation, know where you are. And then the second thing I would say is get ready to disrupt. Be a disruptor. Be ready to disrupt where you are.
Yes. I love that.
Disruptor, right? You want to make sure that if you're just starting, you need to look at your life and say, what are the things that's going to stop me from moving forward, and disrupt it? Say, okay, I identify you. I'm about to disrupt you. You're not going to excel in my life.
Okay.
If you are already in business and you're like, okay, I'm here, but I'm feeling stagnant, you need to, again, assess where you are and figure out what can I add to my platform that's going to disrupt the industry that I'm in. We know disruptors, right? We know disruptors in almost every single industry. What can I do to just pierce through the ground like bamboo and just disrupt the whole thing? Because at that point, you're ready to do some things, but you've got to identify that I'm ready to be a disruptor.
So I have another question on that, right? So tell everybody out there what disruption looks like in business.
That is such a good question, Trace. So I'm going to pose it back to you guys first, right? So when I say the word disrupt, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Breaking the status quo. That's just how it's done in this industry.
Who talked about that status quo? You better say it again. Say it
again. I said breaking that status quo. There's a lot of people say that's just how this type of business is done.
Yes.
Well, it can be better. It can be bigger.
That's right. Breaking the status quo. That's one of the number ones. I'm here to break the status quo of how things are normally done. I'm gonna do it bigger, better, and greater. I'm coming to breaking up that status quo. What else? What else do you think about when you hear the?
I have to mention the beautiful Jamie Lane out there that is watching, because we said disruptor and she said, I think I heard my name, because she definitely is.
Bragger.
That's right. That's
Yes.
right. I love a good disruptor. Jamie, you my girl already.
Yes.
What else do you think about when you hear the word disrupt?
I would say doing something totally out of the norm. Well, that's really breaking the status
quo. That sounds like creativity to me, Tracy.
Yeah, but totally out of the norm, right? Yeah,
absolutely. Out of the box thinking. Out of the box thinking. Right. Absolutely. That's a disruptor.
Right. I think of trailblazer, somebody who decides, I'm doing this differently. I'm doing this new thing that I haven't seen before. So they blaze in the trail for people to come after them.
Yeah, absolutely disruptive.
I got another one. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sheba. Go ahead.
Initially, I was just thinking like messing up, but I'm thinking, visual. I'm visual. Take everything, take those things that are working, like you said, assess where you are, and just wipe the slate clean. Keep those few things. Swipe everything off the desk, because you know that I like to cause a mess. Flip it. Throw it off the desk and just have those few pieces and build from those blocks.
Yep. So you disrupted the norm of what you knew or what you had in front of you. And you created something different. So absolutely. Yeah. Tracy, you said you had another one too?
Yeah. The other thing I think about is massive impact.
Right. So we can name a couple of quick disruptors. Mark Zuckerberg. Okay. Facebook, right? He disrupted the industry of what you know, right?
That's true.
You can name several of them. Oprah Winfrey, she disrupted the industry of what we know as it relates to Black women in television. Damon John, we already know he disrupted the industry for what we know for Black designers. I mean, we can go on and on about platforms, about things that people have done who have disrupted the industry and caused change. Listen.
Steve Jobs, right? Apple.
Yes. E360 TV.
Hey,
they have disrupted the whole industry of what we know as TV, right?
That's right.
Absolutely. So the reason why I posed the question back to you guys is because you already know you are already built to be a disruptor. You just need to activate. You already know.
So
you know.
Oh, listen.
You don't need me to tell you. You just need to do it.
Yes. Okay, but now let's talk to that person who is not quite sure. Because see, we're here, right? And we've done work. We've done work to learn how to disrupt, right? But talk to that person who hasn't gotten there yet. But they know that there's something deep inside of them, right? They know they're supposed to do something different. How do they learn now how to disrupt?
Let's go.
It goes back to, you said the person who doesn't know. And I'm going to challenge that, Tracy. And I'm going to say the person who says they don't know, they do know. They're just afraid to step out. They do know. They already know. Because what I can tell you 100% every single day, that you will never see me in a hospital surgery room. Nah, you're not going to ever see me there. I wasn't given that. I have no desire to be around blood. I ain't cutting nobody open. I will not do it. So I know that's not for me. But if I have an inkling on the inside of me that I should be here motivating you, helping you, that's what's given to me. And so what's given to me is for me, and it's up to me to activate on it. So the person you say who doesn't know, they do know. All they need to do is to replace fear with faith. That I can.
So,
and then once you make the move to jump and step out,
but it ain't easy.
See, it's all about believing that if I make the move to step out and do it, because I already had the desire, I already have the passion within me. When I make the step to step out and do it, guess what? Everything you need will meet you there. I always say, when the time is right, the time is right.
Yeah.
So when the time is right, everything will come to me because the time is right.
Yeah.
Right. So just do it. Just do it.
That goes back to what you were saying earlier about getting clear, right? Because that's where the clarity piece comes in, right? Start to attach that, your faith, and then get clear, right? You need to do that first, because a lot of people say they're looking for their purpose, right? Looking for that purpose, but that which is also attached to your faith. It's part of your gift. It's part of what you've already been given. I was studying Ephesians over the weekend, and you know, part of that is the part where God says, "For I knew you before you were formed in the womb," right? For I know, Melissa. Hey,
Come on now. Come on now.
it just made me think of your speech, but you know, it's already there. So that's I really resonate when you say you already know, because the gifts are already, it's already here.
there.
We just need to let it out. Yeah.
It was formed. It was formed way in Genesis 1:1. It was already formed way before that. Before that, it was formed. It's in you. It's just up to you to decide. I'm going to take all of distractions out of my space and focus on this task and how I can do it the best of my abilities. And the best of my abilities is my version of disruption.
That's right. That's right.
You know what else I believe too? Reading and studying is a part of the process. Whether you're reading books or listening to audiobooks or watching different self-development professionals to help lay the foundation within your own mind to start just going. The faith part, everybody is always talking about their purpose, but like when you just start doing things in faith, your purpose begins to reveal itself during the journey.
That's it, Brandy, right? So what you just said, I equate that to absolutely that, the journey. We have idea and then we have, and Melissa, you know my phrase, right? We have idea and we have that place where we consider it complete. We consider it, I've gotten there, I've arrived, it's done, right? We have that place. But in between those 2 points, we have that journey. But in that journey, we are accountable, Brandy, to being masterful of the journey, right? So how do we become masterful of our journey? We become masterful of the journey because we decide, how am I going to be the best? I already know that I want to be a disruptor, but what do I do to be a disruptor? To be a disruptor, I must study, and and so one thing I was sharing with a group of people just Sunday, to be masterful in an area, you have to be willing to close your mouth and listen when you're with the master.
You better say it.
Because when the master's in the room, you need to hear, watch how they move. Watch who. Oh, is that bell for me?
No,
Yes, that's what you said.
What the hell is going on here?
That's a good bell. That's a good bell.
So when the master's in the room and you recognize that the master is in the room, it is your opportunity to learn. So many times we get in the room, or we have an opportunity to get with the master. And so, Brandy, to your point, the master could be through a book. It could be through an audio experience. I understand that people like to drive and listen, but then you need to go back and listen to it and sit quietly with what you heard. That's sitting with the master so that you become masterful, so that you can be able to excel to the next level. Otherwise, you are really taking the journey for granted. That's how you keep up and you make your journey worth the push, right?
I love it.
Somebody who suggests that people like shut out the room, maybe that bullshit.
Wait, what y'all all saying? Y'all
I'm excited. Y'all excited. Sorry.
What you say, Sheena?
About that noise factor.
The noise factor? Did you hear?
How do you shut down the low-level mental midget bullshit that goes on? That, hey, we're going out. Hey, this show's going on. Hey, this sport's going on. Hey, this fight's going on.
Ooh, girl. It's called, so I was a part of a book, and it's called Faith Forged by Fire. And if we had a long enough time, Brandy, I would share with you my whole testimony. But what I will tell you that this is going to sum it up for you. My book, I have a chapter in the book that I co-authored. It's called Don't Die with the Baby Still Inside. That's how you focus, because you don't have the time to die and still being pregnant. You don't have that kind of time, because tomorrow's not promised. You were put here for a purpose. You need to go ahead and push.
Girl, see, now y'all know coach up there. Hello. But one of the things,
you think about the big picture, Brandy, you have to say, my tomorrow is not promised. I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. So while I'm here, I need to push.
I love it. One of the things, Coach Cass, that I wanted to point out was too, you mentioned the fear, and one of the things I was just sharing yesterday with somebody I was doing some vision casting with is false evidence appearing real. It's false. It's false. That fear that you create in yourself it leads you to stop. but it's not real. And you have to push past that to get to this level. Then number two, faith comes by hearing, and hearing the word. So your point on the mastery of it, listening and reading, that's how you build your faith to push out the fear so that you can move forward.
Yes.
Let me give you number 3 on that. I love that.
Can I say something in between there, real quick? Because I was listening to T.D. Jakes. This was a while ago, but he was talking about that whole faith and fear thing. And you know how people always say faith and fear can't live in the same place. He said they absolutely do. It's just that you have to do it anyway. You have to have enough faith to push through the fear. It doesn't mean that the fear doesn't exist. It means that you got to push through that fear. So I just wanted to mention that, as Melissa, you reminded me of that.
Right. And to your point, Tracy, listen, I say bring on fear, bring on failure, bring it all on, because that's all part of the journey.
Yeah.
But when you recognize that fear, failure, all those things that we coin as negative, when you recognize this is part of my molding, this is part of me having an opportunity to grow out of. So if there's nowhere for you to grow out of, there's nowhere for you to grow, right?
Right.
So your fear is going to come when you recognize this is part of my journey. And so I need to go through the journey. We're back at that journey, right, Brandy? Well, this is part of the journey, but I need to understand that on the other side, there's success. On the other side, there's a lesson. So let me just go on ahead and push through. I know I'm a little bit afraid, but I'm still going to push through and do it.
Yeah.
But it's like
when you get fearful and you stop.
That's right.
That's when it's a problem, right? Because you can't stop on the journey because we can't keep moving. We got to keep moving.
That's the part right there. I can speak from my own experience. There are times that no matter how smoothly things are going, there will always be challenges, whether it's deaths in your family or people trying to screw you over and take very large assets away from you because they think you don't know better, stuff like that. I get very angry, but there's a point in time that I would get angry and I would wallow in it. And now I get angry, I chill out, and I think my way around it, over it, through it, whatever is necessary to get to the other side, because I truly believe, and when I really allow this to set into my spirit, that the things that I lose at or temporarily get set back on are lessons for me.
Right.
The faster I can get to and through and past and around those things, the faster I can get to that level that I actually want to achieve in life.
Liken that process to building antibodies.
Yeah.
That's what, when I hear that, when I think about the fear and the failure and those things that antagonize us when we're trying to do something, they're like antibodies. They're not going to stop coming around. People are still going to get cold. People are still going to be sick, but you build up a resistance to it.
Yeah.
To that particular one. Doesn't mean it's not going to come again in a different form. COVID. It's still going to come, but you build up an antibody to it. But you still got the journey to take.
I love that analogy. I love that analogy.
Yes, that's good, Sheena.
That cast.
Get to a new level this evening. Let's go. So tell us some of the tools about pushing past the fear. Then, what's some of the tools to get a person there?
Be curious. When fear is present, be curious. Okay, hey fear. You know, listen, I have a son, he's 11, so I'm a boy mom. Go ahead for the boy moms. Go ahead for the boy moms. So we watched Spider-Man, and Miles Morales does the song "Hello Danger." I know that song. Danger. So I am at a point whenever I see danger, I'm like, hello, danger. Come on. Hello, fear. Come on. Be curious about what's going to happen in that process. Don't get stuck. But when you're at fear, just say, okay, you know, I wonder what's going to happen. Be curious about it. Be curious about it. And when you're curious about it, then in your mind, to make a decision to take a risk. Take a risk.
Well, now,
because that begins to subside the anxiety of the fear. Because now I'm curious. All right, I'm gonna just go ahead and take this risk. What's going to happen? Especially if you know you guarded and you already got your angels all around you, or however you see your guarded protection, whatever you deem as your protection. For me, I deem it as my angels. I don't know how you deem it, but for me, I'm like, well, what am I worried about?
That part too. There are so many tribes and people you can connect with online and around you that before you really take the hold of that journey and take it for real, you have yourself a support system. It might not be your family. It might not be your friends, because at the end of the day, not everybody thinks like us. I can literally say, like, I've been on this journey alone for the most part for like the last 7-8 years. And look what I found. I'm on this screen with my sister Queens right now, and I got others that back me the same way I back them, and it's because I kept moving forward.
Yes, that's right. Yep. That's right.
That's the other thing, Brandy, right there, right? That other tip is build your network.
Yes.
So when fear is coming, you have to have a network. If you don't build your network before the fear comes, when the issues come up, when the fear does come, you need to be able to say to your network, hey, girlfriends, and our network, we're tight. We can drop a text message in a minute. Hey, I need somebody. So when you build your network has your back. And it shouldn't matter whether you're a male or a female. Every single being should be able to form a network some way, somehow.
Right.
Yeah. I heard people say, well, men don't operate like that. Well, they ought to.
They don't.
And he's selective about who's in your network.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Well, we're gonna take
some of those quick components. I can give you a ton more, but those quick components to me are the things that help push you past that fear.
Yeah, I love it. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, but I don't want anybody out there to go anywhere, because you hear this conversation and you are getting some real information here that's going to help you in this new year to reset your life and your business. Because listen, these tips are not just for business, right? These can be applied just in your everyday life, your relationships, your health, everything. So I want you to stay tuned. We're going to do a quick commercial and then we will be back, everybody. Here we go.
Operate out of your dreams and your vision and not other people's expectation. Having breast cancer wasn't my choice, but the decision to live healthy so that I could stand before you here today, that's choice. You can choose this very moment to change your life from every perspective.
Tracy Randolph was our speaker. She came back because so many people liked her first presentation. I was one of those people that joined her fitness group, and it made me a better leader.
I grew up in a community, but they had limiting beliefs on what a little Black girl could do. Everything that you do in this life is a choice. I choose to live healthy. I choose to change my mindset. I choose to be everything that I dreamed of, because I choose faith and I choose me. Live healthy, be everything that you can be today. Choose yourself.
What's up, everybody? Brandy the Disconnector in the house. I would like to let you guys know that I'm currently offering the live stream basics course starting this Saturday, the 21st at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be showing you guys basically how we bring this to you. Now, you won't be getting access to E360 TV unless you choose to plug into that network, but I can show you how to set up a live stream show that you can put on Facebook, YouTube, and other platforms that can help get you the exposure and build out something that can bring you a new form of income. So join us if you're interested. Just drop it in the comments, interested, and I'll make sure I'll shoot you the link to get signed up. The class is $125. It's going to be a couple of hours, and you'll get me one-on-one to ask as many questions as you need. So I'll see y'all Saturday, and back to our show.
Live stream.
And we are back, everybody. Listen, you do not want to miss out on Brandy's class. She is serious tech person there and knows all the ins and outs of the streaming program. So she keeps us going on this show. So
yes, she does. Yes, she does. I will be in the class. I will be on Saturday. You understand?
Yes. And listen, don't take this lightly either. I just want to mention that too, because you can monetize when you're streaming. You can monetize, particularly on a platform like YouTube, or if you're podcasting, or on a network like this. So you just want to make sure that you tune into that. So join the
Yes, because one of the tools I'm gonna show you, you not only create a live stream show, but you record the audio and create a podcast too. You can create multiple streams of income out of one recording at a time. I love it.
There you go. Love it.
And just to kind of get back to what we're talking about, that reset, you know, let me just say this. I will be remiss if I don't talk about that woman up there in the middle called Cassandra Davis. Girl Bossed Up is all about what she said. And was sitting with her kind of going over my hopes and dreams, and her listening to me and able to birth Girl Bossed Up and just so many other things in my life. But I say that to say is, you're talking about the fear. You're talking about, you know, being able to get past the noise. But, you know, when you reset, you have to go within your heart and say, what do I want to do? And then from there, you get with a Cassandra, you get with a Coach Tracy, you get with a Coach Shima, you get with a coach, you know, and you find how to move through that, because that's the building of the network. That's the support system that, you know, that somebody's gonna, you know, it's not crazy what you're saying. Because, you know, I remember saying I wanted to do a talk show. I wanted to be a host on a talk show. And that may have sound 10 years ago quite silly for somebody to say. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's when you get people like this around you to talk to you, you get a Cassandra to listen to what you're saying, and then she helps you birth it. That's how you reset. We're talking about reset. Don't let those dreams just dissipate because of the fear, because you don't know anybody. You find somebody, you get curious. I love that you said that, and find somebody that can help you to do what you really have to do.
While simultaneously removing yourself from the presence of the people that say, that don't sound like something you can do.
That's right.
Get away from them.
Right. You have to create boundaries around, you know, that level of thinking. The first reset show was about mindset, right? And that's really what that is. You have to be able to shift and change your mindset. And part of being able to do that is creating the boundaries around the naysayers, the limiting beliefs, all of that. That's when you start, and getting yourself around, like so many have said here, around the people who will support the dreams because they understand. Sometimes the people that you are around, they just don't get it. Right. And it just means that they're not supposed to. It's not their time, you know, or they're not going where you're going. So get yourself around people who can understand you so they can support you and you know, just live out your dreams. Cass, you look like you're ready to say something.
Tracy, I'm gonna add to that because yes, you need to get rid of the naysayers, but I'm gonna say it starts with you, right? So it starts with you in your personal mindset, because if you have yourself to a mental place, the naysayers and the negative words around you just doesn't even penetrate. So it's almost like, Tracy, you have embraced this vegan lifestyle. You've embraced it. So whenever you hear something that is in line with it, your brain attaches and grabs it, right? So you don't hear sugar anymore. You don't hear, I need a bag of Doritos. You don't hear those things anymore. It doesn't even penetrate because you've embraced, this is the world that I'm going, this is where I'm setting my mind. So it definitely starts with mindset. But for some people, you have to get to a point where you're doing a mental diet, right? So I personally do a mental diet. I do a mental diet the first week of the month. Every month, because it's like a detox. So we detox in our body, right, Tracy? But we need to detox our mind. And so when you detox your mind, you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to give myself a mental diet. And for that bell keeps scaring me. You get yourself to a place and you're doing a mental diet and you're saying, okay, for this period of time,
trending that part.
that is negative, I'm not gonna embrace it. Even my thoughts, even in my stinking thinking sometimes. Let's say that your stinking thinking is against lack or not having enough resources. Okay, for the first week of the month, I am not even, that is not even a possibility. I'm not even going to embrace it. So even though the Pico may be saying, so in Philly, we have Pico, that is our electric company. So maybe the electric company is saying the bill is due. And I know my bank account says negative X dollars. I'm not going to embrace the thought that I don't have enough because I know that my resources will come. So as opposed to focusing on I don't have enough, I'm going to focus on creating enough so that enough can come. And that mental diet of yes, if you begin to train your brain to be able to embrace the things that you want to come to you, then guess what? That's what'll come to you. And when something that is not in alignment with what you live and what your values are comes to you, guess what? You won't even hear it. So when this, because the thinking thinkers will come, the naysayers, you can't stop them. They're gonna come. But when you train your brain to a place where like, oh yeah, okay, well, have a good day. It didn't even penetrate. Because what the brain does is the brain holds on to the verb that is the strongest. So if I say to you, if you say, hey, Cassandra, how you doing today? And I say, oh, girl, I'm trying to make it. Guess what my brain held on to? Trying. Trying. So everything I do for the rest of the day is going to be from a trying approach.
Yeah, in our world, trying is lying, buddy.
Let me keep her in trying. So now, if I cannot focus on the trying and I can change my words, and my words can be, oh, I'm doing fabulous today. Guess what? Everything that comes to me from that point on comes to me from a fabulous perspective. Yes. So train yourself to train your brain to embrace where you want to go.
I love it. That's what Trindelin just said too, though.
Yes.
Yeah. She said, and you have to learn what to share with people. Man.
Go on, Trent.
I can't agree with that more because there's at one point in time, like when you get to certain levels of things, you want to share everything that you're learning and doing and know that's being masterfully driven in your life and driving you towards that vision. But there are just some things that people cannot grasp. They cannot grasp finances at a certain level. They cannot grasp the level of dedication that it might take to make something happen. And it took me a long time to just be okay with that and still continue building and building quietly and building strongly with and without some people. It depends on the situation because there are certain things that I'm being taught that goes against everything we've ever been taught about how everything that we have known actually works.
Yes.
And I just stay quiet and keep moving forward because by building it the way that I know it can be built, I can come back for folks later. Yeah. But if I allow myself to be distracted by the fact that they don't get it and I want them to get it and I want as many people with me as possible, like sometimes that's just not meant to be. And you got to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Like, you want to go first and build it and then say, hey, look.
Right.
I love it. Yep. Yep.
Yes.
That's right.
Absolutely. So I want to just ask you too, Kaz, because I know your story and you were talking about your book, and that was a pivotal moment for you. When you scribed your story, there was something that just came alive within your spirit. And I would even say your mindset too. Talk a little bit about that before we close out this show.
Okay. So just in brief, just a brief part of my story. There's so much more to it I can tell you, but I have an 11-year-old handsome, perfect son. We rewind the tape 11 years. My son was born in my 23rd week of pregnancy. He weighed 15 ounces and was 11 inches long. We could hold him in the palm of our hand. We could hold him just like this. So he was what we call a micro preemie. His ears weren't formed. They were flat to his face. His eyes weren't formed yet. He had to go through multiple surgeries, and he was in the hospital for 102 days. And during that process, at the beginning, I laid in the bed like, oh, woe is me. What's going on, Lord? And eventually he had to quicken me and be like, hey, I told you you was going to live and you wouldn't die. I need your testimony. I need you to be an example, and I need you to understand this. And so as we were going through the journey for the 102 days, I began to just journal, and I began to put notes on my eyesight, and that goes back to writing the vision and making it plain. So whenever you have something that you want to do, I'm going to tell you, write the vision, make it plain, put it on the wall, so that people who come in your office, people who come in your room, they can speak life into your vision for you when you're not by their board. And that's what I did for my son. I had to put messages on his isolate, so the days that I wasn't there, people would read little messages, so they were speaking life into him when I wasn't there, because I believed in the vision that he would live and he wouldn't die, and he was going to be a world changer on this earth. So and from that, I remember the night before we birthed him, that morning, the doctor came in and said, how you feeling, Mrs. Davis? And I said, I feel like I could run a marathon. And he said, unfortunately, you can't, because your organs are shutting down. And if we don't deliver this baby today, you and him will both die and you'll still be pregnant. Whoa. We'll have this baby right now, and he's going to live. But from that whole picture, I got the vision towards the end that you cannot die with the baby still inside. And so that doesn't just go for me and my pregnancy. That goes for a man. That goes for a woman. That goes for anybody who's pregnant with vision. So to be pregnant does not mean that you have a physical baby on the inside of you. You've got something on the inside of you that needs to be birthed. So my encouragement to you is that if you are pregnant with vision, a dream, something that you want to do, disrupt what the doctors are telling you, because my doctors told me we weren't going to make it. Disrupt it, push forward, and don't you dare die with that baby still inside. Don't do it.
I gotta say, I knew you were gonna make that point. I knew these people were gonna get that nugget. And when I was making the video, I said that I'm not gonna clear up that when I said she's gonna help you birth your business, because I knew you would make it plain for women, men, whoever, for business, for personal. I knew you would make it plain. Oh my God, girl.
Yes. And for anybody out there,
I have a couple clients that I coach on a regular basis, and I'm working with a client right now. And she came to me with this a simple idea, and I was like, okay. She said, but I don't know. I said, girl, you came to the wrong place and be talking about something I don't know. And you came up with this joy pregnant. We going birth. And so she just came. She's unemployed. She just knew she wanted to do this thing. So I said, okay, well, let's start molding things. Don't worry about the end. We're going to get there. In the process of us molding this, all the pieces just start falling in a line. She opened up her LLC. We found a bank that said, it doesn't matter to us that she opened up her LLC 2 months ago. We'll fund her. Thank you so much. So I said, you got to be able to step out, take the risk, be creative, be persistent. And she's now at a point where she has her LLC, she has her vision very clear. And then we bumped into this opportunity. I'm going to say bump, but it wasn't bump, because I already know who does what when they do it and how he does it. Anyway, so we bumped into
her path intentionally. It was placed in her path intentionally.
Yes. So she bumped into this opportunity where she's able to purchase a close to $1 million business, and she just opened up her LLC 3 months ago.
Wow.
There you go.
I say that to you about her story. She's so excited about this opportunity. She never thought herself she was gonna abort the baby and she was gonna go get a job. I said, don't do it.
Yes.
He's gonna
before we get to the end of the show, how do people get a hold of you? How do they get your book?
Yeah.
So the book, I believe it's on Amazon, but I'm not 100% sure because it was
on Amazon.
Don't worry about the book. I'm better than the book. You want to get in touch with me because the book is a book, and I can talk you
all
through.
right.
I'm on Facebook, Cassandra Davis. You can definitely drop something to the FEM Talk group here, and all these women know how to find me. I'm on Instagram as I_M_MS CEO. So it's Cassandra Davis, I am Miss CEO. Or you can visit my website, INDE business.solutions. And I would love to be able to help you birth. I'm your push coach, and we're gonna push until we make it happen.
Push coach.
We love you, Cass. We love you. We thank you so much for being here. We have to end the show. We're gonna put this in the show page as well, Brandy. Let's do that so that everybody can just click her link and get to her quickly. Everybody, listen, if you have a dream, you have a vision, you have something that you want to do in your life, you need to connect with the push coach, the push doula over here so that you can birth your babies. Do not die pregnant. All right. We are out. We hope everybody will join us again next week for another episode of Fem Talk. We love you all. We thank you for being here. Good night.